now, it seems as though the biggest topic on everybody's agenda and on all of our plates right now is how. How will we get this money back? How will we pay off these things that we can't afford? How will we get out of this hole that we're in? What monies will benefit us to get ourselves out of this unwinding problem known as economic debt? How y'all doing? BT coming back at y'all, throwing some strong words of truth and just kind of thinking about what's been going on the last few months, more or less the last few years for me, in reference to being a witness to the economic hardships, as well as working your best to try and pay off what you owe to those who you can. I'm sitting here, it's kind of odd because, alright, yesterday, of course, yesterday was the big speech of Barack Obama, President Obama, talking to Congress, as well as talking to the Americans at home. It was kind of like his first, if you want to call it that, his first presidential address. He talked about a lot of things that were pretty important and very helpful. He has a very well set message and a very well thought out plan, and I think it will. You have to have faith and hope in that it works. And here's why. And it's going to sound real childish, but it's going to be very valid. When Bush came out with his agenda or plan or thought of how things would work, nobody complained, nobody said anything. They just went along with it, and look at where we're at now. Need I say more? So, we're having Obama coming in, working to try and clean up everything the best that he can. He has small ways of doing so, and one of the things that he talked about is, being able to create more jobs in the healthcare and in the IT field and things like that. Now, those are words, music to my ears. And if that, that's stuff that's pushing me to almost say, hey, if I need to, I ain't gonna say go back to school, but if I need to get a certification or two under my belt, if I need to do anything to help myself, I'm literally all for doing it at this point. It's not even pretty how much of a battle it is to, like, for me, alright, like I said, most folks who know now, I work at U-Haul, but now I'm at a storage, I do storage now. So coincidentally, that means that one of the kinks or one of the hits with doing storage is that you have to do collection calls. I never knew how crazy collection calls were because I receive them, but now to be able to give them and having to make them on a day-to-day basis is off the wall. You just do not know how frustrating it is when you look at people's storage units and you know that they're paying like so many months or so many weeks behind. And you have to call and tell them, like, look, when you plan on paying on your unit, and they're ready to go off on you because they don't want their stuff to go up for auction. And for me, it's in the aspect of I'm trying to sit and pay off things and get stuff taken care of for just everyday debt and catching up on loans and stuff like that. And then what's coincidental is, and what's so odd about it is, I'm sitting here watching CNN right now, and they're talking about a girl who's practically not that much younger than I am, graduating from college, having student loans to pay off, and it's just like, how are you gonna pay it when you're not making enough money? And it's kind of like what you'd almost want to call the economic divide. All of the CEOs, presidents, politicians, whatever, they're not going to see it like that, but as a regular everyday consumer, even if you don't go out here and get the things that you want to get, you still don't have the ability to live with what you're making if you strictly plan to just get gas, maintain a vehicle, which of course nowadays is almost a luxury, but you have to try and make the most out of what you have, and it's tough. And I'm not looking for any pity or sorrow about it at all because it's not that serious. But what I'm saying is that the economic crunch is really on. So To those of you all who did watch his speech, the only part that I'm gonna say that was funny about it, and it really wasn't funny, but it was interesting. Any of you all, if you remember the song "My Body Lies Over the Ocean," da 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 da, and you know how every time you sing and a word come up, it starts with a B, you had to stand up and sit down. I've never seen that many standing ovations at a program before, or at a meeting or a show. You know, I think Biden was getting tired of standing up and sitting down, if you want to be honest about it. And also, this was an interesting thought too. They were talking about that he was saying how a lot of people may or may not agree with his plan or his proposal, and it was too coincidental that they put the camera on John McCain. If you didn't notice that or didn't pay any attention, see if you can find a video or find a coverage of the speech that goes about a good, I don't know how far into it, but when it gets into it and it talks about that part, check it out and see what I'm referring to. But anyways, just wanted to talk about that. My routine has been my routine. I'm working and improving whatever way I can. Made changes as always. Folks are still in the loop. Had an enjoyable party last week or whatever. And that's pretty much it. So if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe. To those of you all who come and give me those great comments of yours, leave those. And the ones who love to just comment and tell it like it is, bring it, man. I don't mind. But anyways, y'all stay safe. Bless.